What's up, YouTube and hosts that are out there? Are you getting frustrated because you cannot get a booking? You can't find your car? It's not on the searchable, it's just not there. You can't find it. You're searching for cars and you can't find yours. Are you getting frustrated with this and you're not getting bookings? Stick around and I will teach you guys exactly how to boost yourselves in the algorithm. What's up, guys? Steve here. Welcome to my channel. We are going over Turo and your rental fleet and how to make it run as smoothly as possible. So like I said a second ago, it's frustrating. Times are slowing down. This month is horrible. And you're just seeing a tidal wave of new hosts coming in. So how do you get above this? How do you get at the peak of all this so that way people are searching your cars and viewing your cars quicker than any other cars that are out there? There's a few ways to go about this, and the first one is make sure your pictures are just on point. Remember, it's a dating app. It's basically a way to get your cars out there. Make sure that the models are looking as sexy as can be, them abs are just ripped. Like, whatever your car has to offer, just throw it out there and make it desirable for somebody to want to be in your car. If I see pictures of you sitting on the hood and I can't really see the car, then you start wondering, like, dude, am I taking you out on a date or what's going on? Is your car that busted that you're trying to cover it up with yourself because you're not looking that great yourself? I don't know. I'm just messing around. But take these pictures. You're allowed 20 of them. So make sure you go out, and just like those other videos that I was telling you about, you have 20 pictures. Make sure you go out to the sightseeing areas, go out to the places that people want to have these cars and take pictures of them there. If it's next to the lake, make sure you're next to the lake. If you're at the beach and you want to have the back of the Jeep open, then have that open. Like, show every picture that you can possible. If you're down in Florida and you want to see palm trees around in the background, or if you're in Colorado, like show Telluride, show the ski slopes, whatever you need to, just have these pictures just out there, have them just on point. And I will say, you do not have to have a professional photographer come out and take pictures. Some of them are nice, and if you're in these extreme luxury cars or sports cars, it does work. But I can tell you, honestly, right here, this thing right here will take amazing pictures. And just make sure you crop it, put it where you need to, take the time and actually work with it and make it desirable for the renters to see it and want to basically be in your car. All right, now the next point, we're going to get into this, and this is basically just going down if you were to be listing your car or if you're just on the platform. I'm just going to go down how you would go about it. So InstaBook, go in and set up the InstaBook. You got to make this car as readily available for anybody and everybody that's out there. If you're getting somebody that's checking out something, they're gonna look at it and say, I gotta wait for approval. Hopefully this host will show up. I don't know how many times I've had a renter call me up and say, hey, help me out. I've had 3 different people either not respond, or they just didn't approve me, or whatever, and I can't figure out why. And I just make it super simple for them, just InstaBook. And it's actually an option there on the search engine when you're searching cars. Do you want InstaBook? Make sure you have that on there, and you're going to show up to a whole lot more people. And yes, does it suck? Are you kind of sketched out because sometimes you don't know who's going to be in your car? Yes, it sucks, but it's part of the game. These are assets people are trying to book, and Turo is doing their best to weed out the ones that are just troublesome. I know personally, I think I've gotten rid of 3 guests just on this platform in the past 100 trips that I've had. And I don't even know how many with the other host name that we had with well over 4,000 trips. They're doing their best to weed them out. Same thing as hosts, they're doing their best to weed out the bad hosts. So set up the Insta booking, and this will be huge. You'll show up to a lot more people. The other thing that I will say is watch your prices, your daily prices. Set these things daily. Don't just be out there and do the automatic pricing, because Turo kind of bounces it up and down depending on the supply and demand. And honestly, you're losing out on money this way. Set your daily prices. Weekends are going to be a little bit more inflated than they are in the, say, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but you can see you're just going to keep riding that wave of different pricing. And you can go 2 ways about this for farther out bookings. Me personally, if you're going to book my car a month or so out in advance, you're going to pay premium price, because I don't know what's going on then, so I'm not going to have it a super cheap rate. I know that may be backwards from what a lot of people are doing, and they're thinking, oh, if I book sooner, then I'll get the cheaper rate. I just kind of go this way, and I actually do get some bookings that way. It doesn't work for everybody, but that's kind of the route I go. And I make sure I go through and find out what the market's doing, basically on the daily, every other day, on the week, and see what it's doing and what I need to do to adjust to get my cars out there, especially if they're sitting for any length of time. but I'm not gonna pay people to rent my cars, that's for sure. All right, so next thing on the list is description. I know I said this in another video. Like I said, that other video got a lot of people talking, asking me questions. The description, make sure you guys are just selling it. And when I say selling it, I don't mean selling your fees, selling all your BS things that you're gonna charge you for. I'm gonna charge you $5,000 for tampering with my bouncy, or if you look at me wrong, I'm gonna charge you $50 here. Stick with Turo's fees, but don't plaster them all over on your description. That's the last thing you wanna do, right? You don't wanna scare the renter before they even come on and book with you. If I see somebody and they have all this stuff written on here, the last thing I'm gonna do is go to that person where they say, hey, if I show up 30 minutes late, I get charged $100. You can't do that, but you're gonna try and say that you can do that. So just keep all those fees. I mean, you want them to be in there, but you don't want them bam right in your face, right off the bat. You can have it in the facts, or you can have it in the messages preset when they book your car. So make sure you guys have this all set up right. Last thing you want to do is scare them away before they even look at your car. Okay, so another way you can do this to get more traction, set up delivery. You may not want to do delivery, but if you want to reach more eyes, more people, more potential customers, set up delivery. I'll tell you, me personally, I don't want to deliver. Now, I kind of play this, you know, it could be wrong, could be right, whatever. But for me, delivery, my time is valuable. I'm not going to go deliver a car for free if you're 20, 30 miles away. Shoot, I'm not even gonna do it if it's 5, 10 minutes away. Like, I am going to charge for it. Now, I honestly, personally charge, you'll laugh at me, $120 flat fee to deliver. And do I get it? Do people actually book it? No, I get a lot of people that actually question me and say, really, you're gonna charge me $120 to go 5 miles? It's like, yeah, I am. Because my Uber is gonna cost me $30 round trip on top of my time to get to the airport and either drop off a car in the parking lot or wait for you. So what is it you wanna do? Because if it's at an airport and you want me to wait for you so I can give it to you curbside, now I'm waiting, I'm having to track your flight, and hopefully your flight's not delayed. Not to mention, oh, your checked baggage, so now you gotta wait on that. So you want me to kind of judge how long it's gonna take for you to get your luggage and all that? No, my time is valuable, just like you're gonna say your time is valuable. That's the one thing we can't get back, is time. So I'm gonna make it as simple as possible. You guys can take the Uber to me, and here's the car, here's the keys, or you can pay me for my time. Now, I'm not saying that's the best way to go about it, but that's kind of how I look at it. But I do have it set up to where I can deliver. And it brings it up and it shows to more people. Now that's another way. So figure out what's gonna work for you guys and definitely stick with it, but do remember that your time is valuable. And remember, you are gonna have people that question it. Well, why can't you just deliver to me? It's gonna cost me $80 for an Uber. Well, yeah, no joke. It's gonna cost me the same amount, so why should I pay for it out of pocket? I don't know, some people are just goofy like that. Okay, so next setting in here, you got your delivery set up, you got your daily rate set up, you got your description that doesn't have all your fees set up, you got your pictures. Now the next thing we got is your buffer. Keep that buffer as low as possible. Turo makes sure that you have to have a 3-hour buffer in between each trip, which kind of makes it a pain, but I get it. So they want a 3-hour buffer between this trip ending and this trip beginning, and that gives you time to clean, do whatever you need to, disinfect your cars, whatever you need to. But if your car's sitting, you can set it up to where somebody can book your car an hour from right now. So this goes back to the whole availability thing. So make sure it is as easily available to get your car as possible. If I'm looking there and I need a car right now, and it says I can't book your car for 8 to 12 hours, well, yours is out of the question. I'm gonna go right here over to Johnny's car because that one's set and ready. Or I'm gonna go over here to Jessica's car because she's this much closer and she's ready right now. Car's all set and she's already reached out and said, yeah, come on by. So make sure your car is as readily available as possible. Now these are, obviously you don't want to go too far to where you're running this 24/7. The last thing you want to do is wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning just to verify that a renter is actually the renter that's showing up to your car. And yes, I know some of you hosts out there are just giving them the access codes and saying send it. You're making it harder for the rest of us because then they're asking, hey, I didn't have to do this last time. So kind of keep an eye with that stuff, but make sure you are as available as possible. All right, so the last thing that I have for you guys is do not cancel on people unless you absolutely have to because you got maintenance issue or somebody is keeping your car longer than expected. They basically ran away with your car and now you got to figure out how to get it back. But other than that, do not cancel on guests. Turo wants to see, and they're going to push you to get that all-star host because they want to have as many reliable hosts as possible on here. So make sure you are one of those hosts that is reliable and don't cancel. I would say out of this profile right now, I have had over 100 trips and only had to cancel on one, and that was because the guy was in Vegas and he had my car. He wasn't going to come back for this one trip that I had booked. It sucks, but I also gave them plenty of time, and honestly it didn't affect me too much because Turo knows that I'm not going to cancel on guests. They know that there was a reason for that. But if you're canceling just because you see the profile picture and you're like, I don't know, I don't like this person, nah. Or you want to go where? Yeah, sorry, you can't go out of state with my car, which is against the terms of service. You can go out of state. Like, quit regulating on where people can go. You know what I mean? So make sure you guys just aren't canceling on people. Turo wants to push you as much as possible. Obviously, they want to make money just like you do. So the more reliable you are, the better off you are to get bookings. So that, in a nutshell, you guys, is pretty much it. How to boost your spot in the algorithm and basically get pushed higher up to the top. The more badges you have, the better off you're going to be. Your pricing, I will say that Turo is probably going to push some of the higher daily rates, sadly. But if you do have commuter cars, remember, people do search for cheapest. You don't want to be the cheapest, but you also don't want to be that most expensive car out there. Just find somewhere right in the middle and keep those ratings up because this will be huge too. If your prices are a little bit higher, but your ratings are on point, dude, people are going to be coming to you because they know that they're getting what they paid for. So stick with it, guys. So hopefully this all helped you guys out. Definitely like, subscribe, do all that stuff down below, and check the description where I have links to either get a course, one-on-one time with me, or just see what I'm using on the daily and why it works so well for me. So we will catch you guys on the next one. Keep grinding, keep hustling, keep making that money, y'all. Later.